Hey, what's up? Like, totally time for 90210.
Well, hello, everyone. Welcome back to the 90210 show. My name is Mark. With me, as always, is my fiance, Carol. How you doing today, Carol?
Hey, what's up?
Not much. It's been a good week. It's June 26th, 1998. You look like fucking someone is out to hunting you or something like that.
What?
Like you're in the most dangerous game.
What in the
Every
fuck?
facial expression was like, what's that? Like, what's that? What's that? What?
What are you
Like
talking
looking around
about?
the corner and it looks like you're being hunted.
I'm just sitting here.
Your face, what you were thinking, you must have been thinking something.
My head hurts. Our neighbor's truck's loud. Those were the thoughts I had in my head that
So-
apparently make me look like some kind of fucking hostage.
It was
Huh. Interesting.
But you're not a hostage, are you?
No, I am here of my own free will.
That's right.
Really?
They need to hear
It's
it.
true.
They need to hear it from your own mouth. Oh, Carol,
Mark,
guess what we did?
we watched 90210. I know what we did.
You know what we did last summer?
We watched 90210 last summer, too.
Yeah, we also watched I Know What You Did Last Summer, I believe. Wasn't it?
I don't know. Doesn't seem that long ago.
We watched Scream last winter.
Yes.
Anyway, speaking of Scream, I screamed at the plot twists in this episode. Graduation Day.
Graduation day.
Yeah, that's what it was called.
But they didn't graduate.
I mean, it was graduation day. I don't know what to tell you.
Are you sure?
Yes.
That seems untrue.
Oh, Carol. Oh, Carol.
Oh, Mark.
You never believe me.
Oh, Mark.
Oh, what the fuck? You want a bet?
No, I don't want to bet.
Okay.
But I'm just saying that's a stupid title if that's the real title for this episode because it had nothing to do. Aside from Donna's storyline, it had nothing to do with graduating.
Well, I mean, it's the day they're graduating. I mean,
It is.
Brandon Walsh got a roast.
It's the day they're graduating because why didn't they fucking graduate then? Like, why was the episode like it was?
I'm starting to think graduation day is the next one.
Exact. Oh, I
Senior-
should have taken the bet.
Senior Week. The name of the episode is Senior Week. I remember now.
Darn. I would have won one.
It's Senior Week. What do you feel about it?
There's so much to talk about in this episode. Okay.
Let's do it.
So Kelly thinks like she's all excited because she got her period. She thinks she's not pregnant. And like Brandon's not excited at any point.
Let me tell you something real quick
Sure.
before you get into it. When I was very young, way too young, probably like 10, maybe 11, I watched not an adult movie like a pornographic movie, but like a more adult-themed movie.
Sure.
And there was a line in this movie where I think they find like a homeless guy or something like that. And they're like, it's two women, and they're all happy about it or whatever. And this girl goes, what a great day this is. First I get my period, now this. And I didn't understand that at the time. I remember thinking like, don't girls hate getting their periods? Why would that be fun? Like, I thought that it was painful for them and stuff.
Yeah, well, generally it is. But yeah, she's very happy about her period. And Brandon's just
Speaking of painful
deadpan.
periods.
What?
Well, hers, Kelly's.
Yeah. So Brandon's just like deadpan. Like he's this whole time he's kind of acting like he's playing poker, you know?
Yeah, I don't understand the acting choice, really, because he was so flat. Like, he didn't give any emotion to anything that was going on, really.
I mean, last episode was kind of the same, too. Like, she was trying to feel out how he was feeling about things, and he was very guarded. And now she's saying, hey, I got my period, I'm not pregnant, and he's still guarded. I think he just doesn't want her to consider his feelings in this situation or whatever.
Is that it? Or is it just that Jason Priestley's not that good of an actor?
Oh, come on. I mean, we've been watching him for 8 seasons.
I mean, he was
Or 7 seasons.
He was on that episode of Quantum Leap.
Uh-huh.
The Kamikaze Kid.
He's
when he was that fucking wife beater's like lackey.
Right. He is a better actor than this, though. Come on.
Yeah, I think so.
But
maybe he's taking the week off.
Yeah. But he suggests that she still go to the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
I believe. Or maybe she's just going. I don't know.
No, she was like, I don't need to go to the doctor anymore because I got my period. And he was like, maybe you should still go, though.
Yeah. So she goes, and then the doctor's like, well, we ran some tests, and it turns out, your pregnancy test was positive, so
yeah,
you didn't get your period, you had a miscarriage. Like, I want to talk about that they need some women writers in the room. I don't think they have any.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it can happen that a woman can have a miscarriage, and if it's early enough, they think, oh, I just got my period. Sure, that can happen.
Sure.
But usually it's not just like a period. It's more painful.
Clumpy.
Ew. And
I don't know what it's like. I'm not a woman.
Well, I mean, I don't know, like, personally, but I mean,
Sure.
I've heard things.
Yeah.
Like, they need, like, to have a D&C to clean out their uterus. It's a dilation and cottage.
Okay.
They clean out the uterus to make sure that everything comes out.
So it's spick and span?
You don't want to leave dead tissue inside of you.
Oh, my God. No, you wouldn't.
Ugh, okay. Anyway, probably went too far.
Yeah, you probably did.
Anyway. I feel like it would have been, I don't know, more than this. So in the testing they do, though, they also notice some stuff on her ovaries and her uterus, and it turns out that she has endometriosis.
Yes, endometriosis.
So,
fun Latin word to say. Or Greek?
I don't know.
Greek, I think.
But the doctor thinks that means that Kelly's not going to be able to have kids.
Yeah, she's like, you can make you very hard to get pregnant. She's like, I just was pregnant. What the fuck?
Right.
And she's like, well, it can make you really hard to carry it to term, too, so.
Yeah, so, like, she's not likely to get pregnant again, and if she does, she's likely to have another miscarriage.
Although later she says the odds are 60-40. 60 in favor of being able to get pregnant. And
carrying the baby or just being pregnant? Or?
That I don't know. Yeah. I don't think she went into those terms.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, that's not terrible odds. I would take those odds in a casino,
Would you... Now, let's say you know that there's a chance, a high degree of difficulty of carrying to term, and that you could have several miscarriages before having a successful pregnancy. Do you think you could psychologically stand up to that?
I don't know.
Like 5-6 miscarriages?
That would be pretty rough.
And then finally it works?
That'd be, I mean, like, I've heard of women going through that too, and that would be awful.
See, I feel like for a guy, like, I feel like I'd be like, well, just try again. Like, I feel like I would, just shrug it off. But I wonder if that's because I've never had a living thing inside me.
Well, yeah, it's not your body. You're not going through it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it'd probably feel different, I guess. But okay. I feel like I'm a somewhat empathetic person.
Yeah.
That is stretched beyond my ability for empathy, I think.
Okay.
I don't think I can even come close to understanding what it would feel like to be pregnant or have a miscarriage. Like, I don't think there's any way I can, like, there's nothing in my life that I can use to bridge that gap. So I don't think I could possibly know.
Okay. I mean, physically, of course, you couldn't know. I'm sure that if a dude like wants the baby and then there's a miscarriage, that it's emotionally
it's disappointing.
Taxing.
Yeah, I'm sure
also.
It's disappointing.
Yeah. But she thinks that this means that her and Brandon can't be together because he wants a big family and she's not going to be able to give it to him.
Well, he mentions it. I don't even know if she was going to tell him right away. She says, "Oh, I went to the doctor, and turns out I was pregnant, and I had a miscarriage." And he's like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." And he's like, "But he's like, not to be morbid or anything, but you did say that it wasn't the right time, so maybe this was, all for the best, and we can try again, and everything. We'll have a big family. Did I tell you, it takes 6 kids to make a hockey team or whatever." And then that's when she's like, "I'm not going to be able to give you any kids."
Yeah, well, she didn't say any. I think she just said a big family or whatever.
No, she said, "I'm not going to be able to give you a family."
Yeah. I don't know why she's like...
Actually, what she said is, "We're not going to have a family."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Well, you know what I mean, like in the future if we do." And she's like, "No, we're not going to have a family because I'm not going to be able to give you one."
I think, maybe when her hormones go back to normal and she calms down a little bit.
Yeah, she's going off the deep end, I think.
Yeah, I mean, the doctor didn't say you're completely sterile, you're never going to have a baby, but that's what she's acting like has happened.
And there's adoption, and there's medical things you can do. Like, they had the test tube baby and stuff like that. I don't know that they do that much anymore, but...
That's fucked up.
1978. I can't remember her name, Mary something. Or Sarah Brown? I think Brown was her last name. Anyway, first test tube baby ever, successful one. But yeah, there's stuff they can do.
Sure. And yeah, they have the money, so.
Yeah.
But they could also just adopt, like you said. I mean, there's lots of...
They're rich and white enough to adopt. They could get one from any country, probably.
Maybe even ours.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, and he's really good about it. He's
just
like...
scour the dumpsters after prom.
Come on.
You'll find one.
That's awful. But Brandon's really good about it. He says, whatever happens to you happens to me. We're
He's
in it
the
together.
model of... Oh, and she's like, yeah. And she's like, well, here, why don't you bleed? No, he's the model of perfect boyfriend or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, he's reacting the way that you want a dude to react, except that he's doing it very flatly.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It is weird.
So then Kelly's like, I'm going to go have... she turned her ringer off on her phone. She was just, at home by herself. He's trying to reach her to go over there to talk to her.
That's weird. I've heard of people taking their phone off the hook. I know you can turn the ringer off, but, it's weird.
Yeah. So, yeah, she is being weird, but she's going to go have dinner with her dad.
Your dad's in town.
She tells Brandon this.
It's Father's Day now.
Right. In the meantime, Valerie. She meets with that weird, creepy financial dude. I don't remember.
Parker Lewis.
Yeah.
Who cannot lose.
And he gets, visibly upset when she's, doesn't have the check with her.
Yeah. He's like, where's my fucking money?
And she's like, oh, I'll bring it later because they're talking about having dinner with Kelly's dad. First of all, she says...
Bill Taylor.
She says, I'm not going to give you the money without having met Bill Taylor. I'm not investing with Bill Taylor without meeting him.
Yeah.
And he's like... Well, he's out of town or whatever. And she's like, no, he's in town. His daughter told me. So, Kelly,
Valerie. Not Kelly Kapowski.
Right.
She would have figured this out. She had the experience of scheming Zach. She would see the scam of
Exactly. But Valerie...
Yeah.
Is just sorry. Valerie is just okay, sure, whatever, no big deal. He didn't know the guy's in town and now he acts like he does and we're gonna have dinner. What? Come on. Yep. So she's like, oh, I'll give you the check at dinner, and he's like, no, he doesn't like to conduct business at dinner. We should do it before.
Sure.
Meet me in his LA office. We're opening an LA office.
Yeah.
What did he do? Rent the office just for the day for this one?
I guess so.
Thing
he's getting $100,000 so he can afford it.
So she agrees to this. It's so sketchy. I didn't think she was stupid.
Thing in the world. They, her first instinct of no, I need to meet Bill Taylor before I invest with his fucking fund or whatever is the right feeling.
Yeah. But instead, she goes and meets the asshole and
gives
him the money.
$100,000 check. And she admits that she's enemies, actually, with Kelly. Mm-hmm. And that she's only doing this to, like, piss Kelly off. Like, for her, like, she's apparently doesn't want to fuck Bill Taylor, but to have a relationship with him in some way. Even if it's just, like, client, you know, because it'll piss Kelly off.
Well, she's read her diary, so she knows what fucking makes her tick. She's, like, going to use all the weapons she can.
Exactly.
It's awful. So, how did she end up on the phone with him?
She sends him a flower arrangement.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because Parker Lewis, who cannot lose, says that the best way to reach Bill Taylor is to call him directly. I don't know why he says that after he gets the money. It's like, why don't you catch me? You know, kind of thing, but whatever.
Well, he already has the money, so I guess he's like, whatever.
So she sends a flower arrangement, and he calls her, and he's like, hey, you know, it's nice to, any friend of Kelly's is a friend of mine, you know, whatever. And she's like, yeah, you know, I'm investing with your company. And he's like, oh, cool. And she's like, well, you know, why don't we meet for dinner? He's like, oh. He's like, well, I'm meeting Kelly for dinner, actually. And she's like, oh. And he's like, well, why don't you come by beforehand? We'll have some drinks. We'll talk for a minute. And then, you know, I'll go to dinner with Kelly. And he's like, okay.
See, that's what I thought the plan was, but the way it goes down, it almost seems like she was joining them for dinner. I don't...
Well, she comes for drinks. He was going to let her join for dinner because she comes for drinks and she's talking. And she's like, yeah, you know, it's so good that that guy, Parker Lewis, who cannot lose, that you hired is helping me with my money. And he's like, Parker Lewis?
What the fuck is his actual name? You're driving me nuts with this fucking Parker Lewis.
David Driscoll or something like that, I think. Something like that. I don't know.
Okay.
But anyway, he's like, how do you know him?
Yeah, and then that's when Kelly walks in. Mm-hmm. And again, Valerie doesn't, like, clue in that something's wrong.
Right.
Like, I would have been like, whoa, wait, what's up, you know?
Also, what I think's kind of fucked up, we'll get to Kelly's reaction in a second, but what I think is fucked up is what happens is that she leaves, Valerie leaves, and then he's like, hey, we'll talk tomorrow. And then she meets him the next day for whatever.
Brunch, I think?
Yeah, brunch or something like that. And he's like, oh yeah, that dude doesn't fucking work for me. I fired him 3 months ago when I found him embezzling from clients. By the way, why isn't he in jail?
Right.
And then he's like, that's what he does, is he tricks people into giving them money. And she's like, I gave him $100,000. Bill Taylor, that was a very quick explanation. You could have told her last night.
Right?
And saved her valuable time to put a stop to the check or figure out where he was going to bring Jonesy into the mix.
Right? Oh, that'd be fun.
I also, that's the only thing that might work out about this is bringing Jonesy back. But I also am annoyed that they're just doing the same thing again.
What do you mean?
The same thing happened with fucking Dylan.
Oh, yeah. Somebody took off with his money.
And then there was a search for it to try to get the money back. Like, it's the same storyline.
Yeah. Similar, for sure. Huh. Yeah.
It's annoying.
I guess they're running out of ideas after 7 seasons.
Right.
So Valerie gave away her life savings to a con man, which, like, we saw coming episodes ago.
Yep.
And now we'll see if she can get it back, I guess.
Yeah, who knows?
I hope so. I mean, I don't like her, but I don't want her to lose all her money either.
No, I want Jonesy to get it back for her.
What would happen if she lost all her money? She'd have to go back to Minnesota with her mother, who she hates?
Buffalo.
Buffalo.
You keep forgetting she's from Buffalo.
Well, but why was she best friends then with Brenda or whatever?
They were originally from Minnesota, then they moved to Buffalo.
Right, okay. So fine, back to Buffalo then. The East Coast.
To Buffalo. She'd be off the show.
Yeah. Yeah, because she can't afford to live in Beverly Hills. She just sold her club to David.
Yep.
So she has...
For $100,000 apparently, and which I thought she had more than that. Huh? But whatever.
Well, I don't know why you thought. I don't remember like her having millions or anything, and like she did spend a lot of it on like cars and clothes and hotels.
But...
Well, no, but I'm just saying like she went on a giant spending spree.
But she put a lot of money into the club. You would think that the club would that her part of the business would be worth more than $100,000.
I guess not.
Also, last episode, David was like, I don't know where I'm going to get the rest of the money from. Might have to ask your mom. Might have to go to the bank and everything. And it's like, nah, it's fine. I just had it.
Found it under my mattress.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck? But Kelly shows up. We should tell. So Kelly shows up, and she's like, Valerie, what the fuck are you doing here? And she's like, I'm just having dinner with my financial advisor or whatever. And she was like, what? You invited her? And
yeah, it's not good.
She's all pissed off. And then later, when she's talking to Brandon about it, she's like, I don't know which one I hate more. It should be Valerie.
For sure.
Like, how is your dad supposed to know you're enemies with her?
Yeah. Well, I mean, she just, like, hates her dad for a million reasons anyway.
I guess so, yeah.
They have a very tumultuous relationship.
That's right.
But her dad does go chasing after her when she leaves. And leaves Valerie just sitting there not even knowing her money's been embezzled yet.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, what the fuck? But she should have known.
Yeah.
When he reacted that way to Parker Lewis, who cannot lose his name. I mean, you know.
Yeah. That should have clued her in for sure. Like, she's very stupid in this episode. And like I said, I don't think she's supposed to be a stupid character.
I don't either.
So I think that's a poor writing choice.
Spoilers, though. Parker Lewis will probably win. Because, as previously mentioned, he cannot lose.
Right, right. And you mentioned about David with the money. So,
yeah.
He says to Donna at some point, like in the very beginning of their episode, their stuff.
Their episode. They're separate episodes now.
Their storyline. He's like, hey, buying the club was the right choice, right? Like he seems like he's not sure he did the right thing.
She's studying, by the way, this whole time for that stupid fucking economics exam.
And he's like, everything's, good. I've got my life in order. I've got the club.
He's like, zippity-doo-dah.
I'm graduating. He's like, our relationship's good. The only thing that's not good is my lease is up on my place. He's like, you want to get an apartment with me? While she's studying for her final that starts in an hour.
And she's like, what? And he's like, I thought maybe we could move in together. And she's like, David, this is not the time.
Yeah.
I'm studying. And I'm like, true, this is not the time.
Yeah, that was really dumb of him.
He's like, well, maybe I could stay at the beach house. I don't fucking know.
Didn't he used to live at the beach house?
Yeah. He originally lived there with his sister and his girlfriend.
Yeah.
And then he moved out.
And Claire moved in. So,
when Claire became part of the cast.
Well, yeah.
Started fucking Claire.
If him and Donna can, fucking share a bed, then he could move in. No problem.
Yeah.
But, so she's all upset. She goes to take her final. And she has what appears to me to be a panic attack.
Yeah.
Like
Dr. Carol sorted it out for everyone.
But I mean, like you said, it almost seemed like she was dreaming. Like everybody's staring at her, and the professor's like, "You have to pass this to graduate, Miss Martin," and all.
75% of your grade. She's like the asshole that she usually is.
Right. Yeah, she's been nothing but an asshole the whole time. So Donna just all of a sudden, she's just like, I'm sorry, I can't do this, and runs out of the room.
Mm-hmm.
So somehow David makes this about him.
Yeah, which this whole thing is hilarious to me. So she comes up and he's like, hey, you're early. You did that well on the test? And she's like, no, I didn't take it. And she explains what happened and everything. She panicked and she left. And he's like, what do you could have passed that easily.
Yeah, you've been studying nonstop. And
she's like, I know. And then he's like, you know what? I think that maybe you're scared of graduating because you're not ready to move on with your life or whatever. And she's like, what are you talking about? He's like with me, like moving in together and stuff. And she's like, oh my God.
Yeah, she's like, oh, you're right.
Yeah, that's the fucked up part. Well, she doesn't say that right away.
No,
but she doesn't slap his face or whatever.
Which she should, yeah.
And because he is being really selfish and stuff. And we just cut to black. Then she goes to the professor and says, I want another chance to take the test.
That's insane, by the way. Like, so ballsy. Like, there is no way I would have done that. If I were her, I'd be like, well, I guess I'm graduating next semester. Fuck.
Right. But yeah, she says, I want to take the test again. You know, I can do it. I know all the stuff. And she's arguing against her and everything. And then we cut from there.
Right.
So we don't know the outcome. And then she goes and talks to David. And she's like, I went and talked to the professor. And he was like, oh, well, I was, like you said, he goes, that took guts. Mm-hmm. And she said, I told her what you said, that I'm scared to move on, scared to graduate, scared of what's next and everything. And he's like, is that the truth? And she's like, yeah, it is. So she just confirms his selfishness.
Right.
Which is so weird.
And for some reason, this professor, who's been a psycho bitch this whole time, is just like, okay,
yeah,
no problem. I'll give you the final exam tomorrow morning. Just you.
Just personally. And
she reads it to her.
Yeah.
Which she's giving our verbal final, which is awesome because she has dyslexia. Everything should be being read to her anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, that was supposed to be, like, in high school, that was supposed to be what the accommodations for her testing was.
And, like, she's just not a good test taker anyway. And then, I did not like the way they handled this.
I didn't like the way they handled it either because she was so, like, verbally abusive to her. And they're in the middle of the test, and she's like, name 3 ways that, you know, whatever companies can do something. And she's like, 3? She's like, 3? Fuck. She's like, this is impossible. I studied so hard. She's like, I can only think of 2. And she gives the 2, and she's like, I'm sorry, I don't know the 3rd. And she goes, there isn't a 3rd. And she's like, what the fuck? Why did you do that?
Why are you so mean to me?
And she's like, I wanted to see what you do under pressure. Like, did she think she'd, like, what would have been the right answer there? To admit you don't know, or to, like, lie, to make something up, or make a guess or something?
I don't know.
But anyway, she said, I'm hard on everybody, but I'm hardest on you because I think you have what it takes to actually make it in this fashion business. And you are naturally talented, and you're the best. So I'm the hardest on you because if you can stand up to me and all the stuff I throw at you, then that means that you're going to be good in this business. You'll be able to withstand what this business throws at you. And I fucking hate this excuse. I hate this excuse when coaches do it, when parents do it, when teachers do it. It's like the excuse of, like, I'm a method actor. I have to get fully into the character. And it's like, it's always such a coincidence that every method actor, the character they're playing is a complete fucking asshole.
Right.
It's like just an excuse to be an asshole.
Yeah, I did not like it. I didn't like it at all.
So, yeah, I think there should have been something else that came of this.
But, you know, I guess in the end it means Donna Martin graduates.
Yeah, yay.
Ugh. Whatever.
So they end up talking, her and David, after she takes the test and everything. And she's like, I am obsessed, or not obsessed, I am worried about what's going to happen in the future and everything. And he's like, well, you can't be worried about us or whatever. He's like, I'll tell you what, you and I, that's the only thing I'm not worried about when it comes to graduating. That's like the thing I'm sure about or whatever. And she goes, that's the thing that terrifies me the most.
That's weird. They've been together so long.
And he's like, well, what the fuck or whatever. I think she's close to having sex with him.
Yeah.
I think that's what terrifies her.
Like, I don't understand why they don't just get married and then she wouldn't even have to feel bad about it.
She's talking about, like, she's afraid of getting hurt and stuff like that. She's afraid of him, like cheating on her or leaving her. And he's like, that's not going to happen. He's already been tested, like, twice.
Yeah. And
he's passed the test both times. So I understand why she'd be trepidatious because of the past, but I think he's good.
I agree. So the other couple that we're dealing with.
Oh, my God.
Steve and Claire. I want them to break the fuck up.
They're a fucking trash fire.
So, it turns out that Chancellor...
Valorum.
The Chancellor, whatever, I can't remember his name. Arnold. Chancellor Arnold is moving to Paris.
Yep. Paris!
To teach at the...
Sorbonne.
Yeah. So, Claire has been invited to join him. And
by the way, she didn't even know about this. She goes to meet him because he wants to talk to her, and the secretary's like, "Oh, he'll be right there. Like he's just on the phone or whatever." It's so exciting, and she's like, "Yeah, graduating's fun." She's like, "Oh no, not graduating. Moving to Paris. I'm gonna be moving to Paris."
Yeah, so that's not the best way to find out.
No.
But when she tells Steve about it, he's like, "And you're going, aren't you?"
He's accepted this job without even talking to her about it.
And good for him.
No, I mean, that's fine, I guess, but, like, if he wants to bring her with him, this should have been a conversation a long time ago.
Sure.
Because this had to have been a process.
But I'm just saying, like, it's good for him to be making some decisions for himself, because it seems like they are way too, like, intertwined.
Oh, I agree. He's going to be a professor, by the way, too.
Yeah.
He's stepping down from chancellor. Now, the Sorbonne is a very prestigious college, so
Right.
I guess that's probably a step up for him, but...
Well, and, like, they've been, traveling, and, he's probably bored.
Oh, yeah.
So... but Steve just assumes Claire's going to go. He's like, "You're going to end up going. You're going to choose him over me." And he just freaks out. Like,
You always choose him over me.
Yeah. She never said yes. She just told him that, it was a possibility. But she also didn't say no, so he was loose in his mind.
He reacts a little over the top, but she doesn't do anything to comfort him.
No.
And she
Of
knows.
course not. She's a bitch.
And she knows that he's extra sensitive because he's just had a feeling, or not a feeling, he's just had a meeting with Rush.
Yeah.
Rush Sanders, where Rush is like, "Oh, my boy, I want to know if I'm going to get this alumni award. Can you talk to the chancellor or whatever?" So you're nailing his daughter, so. And he's like, "That's it? I thought maybe we'd be talking about me." Because he's graduating, so he was like, "Oh, I'm going to get a cushy job as a junior partner in my dad's firm." I don't know, he does some sort of vague business.
Because it's like, it can't be law. He doesn't have a law degree. Like, I don't even know know what kind of degree any of these kids are getting.
Oh, yeah, they haven't said anything. What they're... I think Brandon's is in journalism, I believe. But other than that, I have no idea. But yeah, Rush Sanders' company is just... it's the most generic fucking... Like, their job is pleasing Japanese businessmen.
But yeah, he's
doing deals that make Japanese businessmen smile and bow.
Oh, God. But yeah, he just gives him 2 biographies.
Mm-hmm. Bill Gates and Lee Iacocca.
Yeah, he's like 2 self-made men because, you're going out there without a safety net.
Bill Gates, self-made man, son of fucking millionaires.
Right. And Steve's like, what? What do you mean no safety net? And he's like, "You're on your own now."
Yeah, it's over. You're cut off.
So then Steve's like, "You're leaving me with nothing." And he's like, "I paid for your college education," which is a valid point. I mean, that's not nothing.
And then Steve's like, "Yeah, thanks a lot," and fucking storms off. Which, I see both sides.
Yeah.
Rush is like, "Look, I'm the person I am because I made it on my own." Because I guess he made it on his own. I don't know. He's like, "So this is the gift I'm giving you. You figure out a way to make your way in the world." Now, he says no safety net, but I mean, if Steve's not going to be homeless.
Right.
If Steve starts to fail, Rush is going to help him out.
Of course. He just wants to see what he can do on his own.
Exactly. But anyway, so I see both sides because I see Rush's side of like, "Hey, this is good for you. You need to start doing things on your own." But I see Steve's point of view in this way only. Maybe give him some warning, Rush.
Right?
Not just on graduation day be like, "You're fucking done!" Like...
He doesn't even have a job yet.
Maybe prepare him for that as it's leading up to graduation.
Right.
He can start to make plans, make some choices, figure out what he's going to do. You know what I mean? Like do it like a little more warning would have been better.
Agreed. So yeah, he's just spinning from every direction because he's got Claire maybe leaving him. His dad's cut him off. He's getting ready to graduate. He doesn't know what he's going to do.
And he's got to roast Brandon.
Yeah.
Brandon gets a fucking lifetime achievement award from school. Thanks for being the best part of school, Brandon.
Right.
And
The golden boy.
He gets roasted because of it.
But the roast does not go well.
No, first of all, none of these people know how to write a roast joke.
Right.
I'll tell you that. So I had an idea. We have a family reunion every year, and I had an idea to do a roast for our family reunion, and we didn't do it. But I wrote some jokes, and let me tell you my favorite joke.
Okay.
So I thought the first person of honor or whatever could be my Uncle Bob, right?
Okay.
Now, little backstory. All the people in the family would know this, so I wouldn't have to explain this. Sorry, audience. But my brother, well, I won't say his name.
No.
But my brother has been married 3 times and divorced 3 times. So one of my opening jokes would be like, Uncle Bob and his wife. I guess I won't narrow it down any further for anybody out there, but Uncle Bob and his wife have been married for 34 years. 34 years, that's quite an accomplishment. Or as my brother John calls it, 5 marriages worth.
That is funny.
It's a good joke, right?
Yeah. So instead of roasting Brandon, first of all, Steve's also drunk.
Yeah.
Like you see him he has a little flask. He's going to town.
Yeah, he does.
But instead of like roasting Brandon, he's like putting himself down.
Yeah.
Talking about how hard it's been being Brandon's friend, like living in his shadow and stuff.
Let me tell you something. No one's the golden boy without a fucking screw-up asshole standing next to him.
Yeah.
And that's me. And that makes you look really good, Brandon. Let me tell you all the ways I'm a piece of shit.
Yeah, it was really, really bad.
And then Brandon comes up and he's like, yeah, you're a real piece of shit, dude. Like, yeah, your idea of failure, you're such a failure. Your idea of failing is not getting $75,000 from your dad, but getting $70,000 or whatever. Like, he really goes in against, like, you get everything handed to you, kind of, which is like he doesn't know the situation, but it's kind of extra funny.
His jokes are funnier than Steve's. Like, I don't even think Steve was trying to joke.
None of them are funny jokes.
But it was still more like in jest seeming.
Yeah.
But yeah, it hit hard to Steve, I'm sure. It was not good. Sure. Everybody left there upset. And then, like, he fell down or
into a well.
What?
Not a well. He fell down into a well with baby Jessica.
Timmy?
He couldn't get out. No, he fell into a fountain.
Yeah. So Claire was pretty embarrassed, I think.
Claire went to go help him up, and he's like, I don't need your help, Claire.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why don't you leave, because I know you're going to.
Yeah, he was mean to her. But then, like, later...
Oh, you're losing it.
I'm losing it. You gotta help me.
I can tell you're losing it. Later what?
Well, later him and Claire talk.
Yeah, and she's like, I'm not going.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, really? Why? And she's like, because you're a dick. And he's like, all right, cool. That's all I need to see.
No, I mean, they decide that, like, they talk about how they're scared and they're going to do life together and it won't be as scary if they do it together. And it's like, if they weren't such a shitty couple, it would have been a really nice conversation.
But they're a bad couple.
Yeah, they're not going to support each other. They don't support each other. Like,
no, they're going to drag each other down.
Cool that they think that they're going to try to do this, but no.
Cool that they're deluded.
She should be going to Paris with her dad. Really, she should. I mean, she's got a college degree.
Yep.
She should break up with Steve, go away with her dad, and then David can move in.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't like them.
I don't either. But he talks to Brandon, and he's like, talks to Brandon about, like, you know, hey, I've whatever, I'm fucking, like, nice jokes or whatever. And he's like, yeah, let me tell you something. I'm such a golden boy or whatever. I'm the Minnesota kid that has no margin of error because I have no safety net or whatever.
Which is ridiculous because his parents are fucking rich too.
Exactly.
Like, he lives in a house they gave him.
Yeah.
Like,
I'd love to have that no safety net, you fuck.
Ugh. Yeah, that pissed me the fuck off too.
And he's like, well, how'd you do it or whatever with no safety net? And he's like, because I have a safety net. He said he had none, but then he's like, because I have a safety net. My friends. Yeah, what about your fucking parents, you fucking ungrateful piece of shit?
Right? Yeah, I mean, they moved, but they have not cut him off.
Anyway, so he's like the power of friendship, you know. And plus,
It's like the Care Bears.
And plus, you saw fucking angels phase the thing through that truck one day,
Right.
so you know that they're out there watching out for you too.
Oh,
We're here for you, Steve.
And
We're
then-
your safety net.
And then Steve talks to his dad again and tells him how upset he is. And his dad's just like, well, you know, Steve, I mean, you know, I can make you a partner. You can, you know. Like, I really don't know if he was saying he's going to do that now or if he was saying, like, if you need me to, if you can't.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like it was more of a...
I think what he was saying is, look, if you can't handle it, I'll just make you a partner.
Right.
I think that's what he was saying. But I think the implication is, like, you should really try to do this on your own. I'll be disappointed, but I can make you a partner. But, and I guess that'd be disappointing or whatever, but I thought that was the whole plan. He was interning there, remember?
Yeah.
Like, he only had, like, 1 day of interning or whatever, 1 episode of
Right.
interning, but he was, like, interning there.
Yeah.
What happened with that? Was it he was supposed to be working towards
Wasn't
that?
there some kind of sexual harassment issue?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, what I'm saying is that was part of his plan.
Yeah, they had a plan, and then the dad just...
Why do that to
Yeah.
him?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can intern here so that one day you can be part of it. Oh, but you're cut off. Fuck you.
Go find another job.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. I don't know. The whole episode's weird, but I think next episode is graduation.
You got it.
So I'm curious. I feel
If they
like
graduate.
next season is gonna be like probably the last season because like I don't know how much more they can do with them after they become actual adults in the
I
world.
agree. That so I haven't heard it's the season that just aired. Mm-hmm. We're about to start the season that just aired. It's exciting because we're getting closer. And I have purposely not kept up on the news about the show.
Right.
So I don't know if they're coming back for another season. I haven't heard they're not, but I haven't really looked into it. So it's possible it's over.
I kind of hope it is. I feel like they're done. They
I don't
need
know
to
what
be
else.
done.
I don't know what else they could do.
I mean, I guess we'll see. Like I said, I'm curious to see what they're going to do after graduation. It would be an interesting kind of closure kind of season to be like, okay, they're settled and this is
Yeah,
it.
to just have them settle into their adult lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
agreed.
then drop it.
But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But that is the episode for the week, Carol. So why don't you tell people where they can go?
So you can write us at latefee1994@AOL.com.
Yes.
Check out our website at www.retrolatefee.com.
Yes.
And share the tapes with your friends.
All right, we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.